Hey everybody, this is Anything Neal back at it again with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Now today I decided to introduce a new segment that I like to call Dream Deck Profiles. These are by no means official deck profiles. These are just decks that I custom made out of Yu-Gi-Oh Pro and decided to test out and see how well they work and how well these archetypes work. I've also decided to throw in a few cards of my own personal picks, just so it can work well with the archetype, and you'll see why. Now, like I said, this is by no means an official deck profile, just a test deck, if you will. Who knows, I might be able to make this deck someday, but it's really all up to what decks I prefer to play. Especially since Code of the Duelist is coming out, then there are going to be a more light sworn monsters, and especially at least two new archetypes they're going to introduce. At least two. There's World Chalice, Trickstar, Gookie, I think, Formula Athletes, I think that's what it's called. It's called FA. And in the meantime, I figured that I want to take advantage of the fact that you can send monsters from your field to the graveyard to link summon. And one archetype that came to mind was Burning Abyss. Because when you send Burning Abyss monsters to the graveyard as link material, then you can activate their effects mainly to rearrange everything on your opponent's side of the field. But feel free to take some ideas from this deck profile to incorporate into your own decks. So let's get started. The first thing that I do is that I run double Barbar, Malabranch of the Burning Abyss. I don't think you need the banishing 3 Burning Abyss monsters from your graveyard effect as much as you think you do, but I still think it can give you somewhat of a slight advantage over your opponent, so that's why I decided to run 2. And after that, of course, you want to run your 1 copy of Seer. This is one of, I think, 3 Burning Abyss cards that got hit on the ban list, which I imagine made Burning Abyss decks just flourish when it came to official tournaments. So one of them is Seer, the other one is Graph, and the other one is Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. But I still think that Seer is a pretty viable card. It lets you special summon from your graveyard. It's basically your Monster Reborn of the deck. Kagna, I don't think you need it as much because it just sends a Burning Abyss spell or trap to the graveyard. And I don't think you need the banishing effect of those Burning Abyss spells and traps as much as you think you need to, which is why I decided to run it at 1. Only 1 Kagna. And then after that, I run triple Calcab. This is basically the Gravel Storm of your deck. You can return a set spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field to the hand. And then after that, triple Libic. Works in the same way as Gold and Silver Gadget, as well as Tin Goldfish. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 3 Dark Fiend from your hand, but its effects are negated. I think that will help, especially since Link monsters are not Burning Abyss monsters, at least for now. Then afterwards, I run triple Alec. It says here, this card is sent to the graveyard. You can target a face-up monster on the field, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Yeah, I'm having a hard time of remembering all the names and connecting them to their effects. But Alec is basically your effect veiler of the deck. And then run double Dragig. And it says here you can choose a Burning Abyss card for your deck and place it on top of your deck. So it's like Edgem Sabers. Triple Farfa. This is one of my favorite Burning Abyss cards. You target a monster on the field, banish it until the end phase. So it's like Dark Core. And I think opponent's card removal is still pretty important, so that's why I run triple Farfa. And your 1 copy of Graph, special summon a Burning Abyss monster from your deck. Oh, and here's another card that made Burning Abyss decks just flourish. Tour Guide from the Underworld. It's basically your alternative to, what is it? Your alternative to, is it Alec? No, it's not Alec. Your alternative to Libic. So your special summon monsters for Burning Abyss decks would be Libic, Tour Guide from the Underworld, and Crane. I'll get to that later. Skarm. During the end phase, it lets you add a level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your deck to your hand. So if you don't see your Tour Guide from the Underworld right away, then you can use Skarm's effect to add your Tour Guide and then have it ready for your next turn. Like I said, Crane, it lets you special summon a level 3 monster from your graveyard and its effects are negated. Again, another way to work with your Link monsters. Rubik is the Burning Abyss tuner exclusive for Burning Abyss decks. So basically, you can't synchro summon Virgil without Rubik, and you can't synchro summon Rubik without Virgil. But we make the best of what we got. And then that runs out our main monster lineup, and now my spells and traps. I don't play that many spells and traps, and I'll tell you why very soon. I run 1 Terminus of the Burning Abyss. I run 1 Terminus because I want to save my other special summon of Dante Pilgrim to use off of Beatrice's effect. So that's why I only run one Terminus. Your one copy of Foolish Burial, always a good card for Burning Abyss decks. And here's the reason why I don't run that many spells and traps in my Burning Abyss deck. Berserker Soul. I've always wanted to use this card. I think this is a good card for decks that work off of the graveyard. In this case, Burning Abyss. There's also Lightsworn, and I think there's also... But Berserker Soul could be of some use when you're playing with frogs, I guess. So just a little recap. Berserker Soul, when the monster you control inflicts 1500 less damage to your opponent by a direct attack, discard your hand, and then keep drawing cards until you draw a card that is not a monster. And basically for every monster you draw, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. So I think that's good for chain burn decks. I haven't tried out a chain burn deck. Maybe eventually I will, but not today. Guarded Treasure, another way to get rid of all the Burning Abyss monsters from your hand. This is good especially if you're going second. So you have Guarded Treasure in your 6-card hand, activate it, then send the 5 other cards in your hand to the graveyard, and then you can activate their effects if they're Burning Abyss monsters that you sent to the graveyard, and then after that you can draw 2 cards, and from that point on you can keep drawing 2 cards for each draw phase. I think that's really cool. And after that I only run 1 copy of each Burning Abyss spell and trap. I already have Terminus, I have the Traveler and the Burning Abyss, especially when it's your end phase and then you want to special summon all of your Burning Abyss monsters after they're destroyed. The Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss, send 2 face-up Burning Abyss monsters for you control the graveyard, then target 3 cards on the field, destroy those targets. It's basically an enhanced Twin Twisters. I think that's really cool. Rising Energy, another way to discard a Burning Abyss monster to activate the effect, and you can also boost a monster on the field by 1500 attack points. And then finally, Ultimate Providence. There are a lot of monster effects that happen, so I think that Ultimate Providence is a good way to negate those effects and destroy those monsters. So I'm going to go to my side deck. Again, this is not an official deck profile, but these are just some ideas that I threw in. So double Elemental Hero Prisma, I think it's so you can gather the materials you need for your Dante Pilgrim fusion. Triple Predaplant offers Scorpio. It's a good way to another good way to Xyz summon your Dante. And then after that, if you normal summon or for Scorpio, you can get out your Darlingtonia Cobra. Yeah, I'm having a hard time pronouncing that. Darlingtonia Cobra. So then, so both of them are level 3 monsters, so you can Xyz summon Dante, and then activate its effect, mill 3 cards, and then activate the Burning Abyss monster effects if there are any. So then after that, I have Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. I didn't really research on what these fusion monsters do, but I just might incorporate them. Why not? And then after that, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and Elemental Hero Escuridao and Predaplant Chimera Rafflesia. Yeah. I added these fusion cards in my side deck just because they incorporate dark monsters. But I think the most likely cards that I'm going to use are, let's see, Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon, Starving Venom, and Chimera Rafflesia. And then my other 2 copies of Traveler and Fire Lake. And after that, I'm going to go to my extra deck. Of course, I'm going to go with these. Of course, you want to run triple Dante. Again, detach a material, mill 3 cards, activate special effects, and then special summon any other Burning Abyss monsters that you have, so you can spam your field basically with Dante. But of course, since the new Link Monster format is here, then you might want to reconsider how you want to play your extra deck monsters. So then after that, a few other rank 3 Xyz monsters wind up Zen Mines, Levier the Sea Dragon, number 17 Leviathan Dragon, the Phantom Knights of Break Sword, Granosaurus, I think that's a cool card, and your 1 copy of Beatrice Lady of the Eternal, sorry. And then afterwards, your synchro monsters are going to be double Virgil Rockstar the Burning Abyss. I like that name, Virgil Rockstar. And finally, your fusions will be double Dante Pilgrim with the Burning Abyss. So that's my dream deck profile for Burning Abyss monsters. What do you guys think? Any cards that I should incorporate? And better yet, if you guys want to see me demo this deck profile with a couple of AI duels, then be sure to let me know in the comments below. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Of course, like this video and comment to show your support. And there will be more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh videos like this to come. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.